Everybody, welcome to my channel, Be Free Now with Maria. So before we begin, I want to share that it is April, we're in a new month, and the giveaway is up and running. If you're interested in a free 30-minute coaching session, go to my website at www.bfreenowllc.com. That's B without the E for more information and to register. All right, so now we're going to move on to our bag of words to see what I'm inspired to share. So let's see what comes up. We have assertiveness. Okay. And peace. And last but not least, happiness. Okay, happiness. All right. So I guess we'll start with assertiveness. Assertiveness. Assertiveness is something that really comes in handy when we want to define our boundaries or define something for ourselves in a healthy way. You know, when we think of setting, being more assertive, we can sometimes feel, like we are maybe can upset somebody or maybe overstepping in some way. But the reality is that assertiveness, is something that is needed for us to be able to set limits, boundaries for ourselves, for us to be able to stand up for ourselves in a healthy way. And the reason why I say it's healthy is because, assertiveness doesn't mean that we have to be rude or aggressive, confrontational. It just basically means that we are sharing what we need or what's important to us, and we're acknowledging that we have a need, and that's pretty much it. Like, it's not really more complicated than that. In other words, but when we start to think of it, right, as, it could upset somebody else, then we can doubt whether it's appropriate and back away from it. The thing is that when we back away from it, we don't give ourselves peace because we are left holding, that inside, or still going along with what we don't want to go along with because we didn't feel comfortable, right? Being assertive and speaking what we do need or what we prefer and so forth, or setting that boundary and saying, yeah, I'm not comfortable with this, or this isn't really working for me. And yeah, we can't have our peace if we're not able to state words like that or in any other way. But when we're not able to assert ourselves, then we're not able to have that peace because we're going to feel unsettled. And even if not at the moment, which generally it does happen in that moment, it will build up over time. Next thing you know, we're feeling frustrated, we're complaining more. And it's because, right, we haven't stepped up for ourselves and we're feeling frustrated with that piece, right? The piece that things aren't really moving in the direction that we want, or things didn't go the way we wanted them to go because we held back. And when we hold back and we don't show up for ourselves in a way where we're advocating for ourselves, then we're not going to feel peace inside, right? We're going to feel disturbed, and a lot of other things are going to manifest because of that. And like I said, next, we're complaining about, the other person and the situation, but it's really something that could have been handled differently. And it's important for us to look at that so that we can shift from something that keeps us stuck in a system, right, in a way of functioning that doesn't really work for us, that doesn't really support us, right, that leaves us feeling this frustration or uncomfortability or a sense of abandonment, right? Because when we don't show up for ourselves, yes, subconsciously we can feel, right, that there is a need unmet, and in some way we are leaving a part of ourselves abandoned, right? We're not showing up for that part of ourselves that needed to speak up, that really wanted to, but felt scared to speak up. And, this is something that is, very common, and it happens, to most of us. So it's not so much about beating ourselves up over it. It's about recognizing that we're doing it, right? And trying to understand that better so that we're not left continuously keeping up with something that doesn't work for us. And so that we learn to speak on our behalf. And like I said, it can be done respectfully, but honestly, and create that shift that we want to create for ourselves. But before I go any further, I do want to pick a word from my deck over here, which is from the Untethered Soul, and see what else I can share on this topic. It says, would you like to go beyond yourself? Would you like to feel no edges? Oh, beautiful. Because the answer is yes, we would like to go beyond ourselves, and we would like to go beyond our edges. But what stops us is fear, right? The fear of being misunderstood or upsetting someone and so forth. And that fear then captivates us and holds us hostage, right? Doesn't give us our peace. And we surely can't create our happiness when we're in that space. So in order to be able to create our happiness, right, we need to not only understand it, but go a step further, right? In thinking, in how we think about ourselves. Because when we think of ourselves as just these a human being with limited options, or like we're stuck and we're limited because we're stuck, then we can't really allow ourselves to go too far, right? Because we're always going to feel this deep-rooted fear of something, going terribly wrong for us if we were to, let's say, right, be assertive. But when we expand our perception, right, of who we are, and we look at ourselves as outside of the confines of this physical body, and we start to incorporate this belief that, right, spirit lives and breathes through us, that we're not here alone, right, that what we desire is coming from a sacred place, and that being assertive and setting boundaries for that desire, right, is okay, right? It's okay because it is in alignment with what our soul desires. It's not that, it's okay to be rude to people and to disregard them, but that it's okay for us to say, this isn't working for me, or I'm not comfortable with this, or I prefer, right? These are things that are okay for us to do, for us to say, so that we can get to the peace or to the place that we want to get to, right? So if we're trying to create something, if there's something that we desire to create for ourselves, then we give ourselves permission to be able to do that by using, right, a more assertive language that advocates and opens up the pathway for us. And like I said, in order to open up a pathway, we don't have to be aggressive, but we do want to be clear on what is it that is working for us and what doesn't work for us, so that we're not just stuck in this human fear and ignoring, right, our soul's desire or our inner desire to move forward in a certain way, and not allowing ourselves to do that because we're thinking of ourselves as small beings and forgetting, right, that part of us that is more expansive, and that leaves us, at a deficit, not really being able to really move forward or move past, even after we understand, right, what is it that's holding us back, or what's the fear connected to. So we want to take it a step further as well. So I'm going to end with that. If this video helped you, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. If you have any comments, any thoughts, and you want to share them, please write them down below, and I will be more than happy to read them and answer any questions if you have any. I'll end with that. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.